The pansy squat is like a cousin of the sissy squat. They're not the same, but they're pretty similar. Now, I wouldn't use this as a pathway necessarily to get to a sissy squat, but it can be a fun accessory, and it's just a little bit of movement coordination in a knee over toe fashion that you can play around with. So pansy squat is simply moving from a hip hinge into then a knee over toe hip extended sissy squat position. Now, what is cool about this is the scalability of this. So you can make this really hard, or you can make it really easy too. You can also use tools such as a wall, pole, or stick to make it even more accessible and play with range that might not be accessible for you. So with doing this, I always like to start in a hip hinge. So I'm literally just going to let my hips roll forward, stick my butt out. And from here, I'm going to keep the knee bend that I have and essentially just shift my body weight forward, so much so that the heels of my feet start to lift. And then I simply extend my hips by squeezing my glutes, pushing my hips forward to then find the end, which is the sissy squat, before hips go back, heels plant on the ground again, and I'm back in the hip hinge. And then just simply alternating between these two positions. Obviously, like anything, the slower you go, the easier it will be to manage your center of mass over base of support, which means you won't fall. And then that way you can also dictate the range in terms of the depth you hit with the knees. So the deeper I start here in this hip hinge, the lower I can bring these knees, the more my quads have to work. So there's a really nice scalability of that. Of course, like I mentioned, you've got the option of using assistance from tools. So for example, with the wall, that's a really easy one. I can just place my hand here. If you are struggling with balance, hand goes on, boom, you can shift forward. I've got a lot of support from the wall. And the goal could be to, as I develop strength through this range and confidence, to get lighter and lighter, maybe to progressing to one finger or then progressing to no hands. But that is this pansy squat, the lesser known sissy squat cousin.